Most people wake up every day thinking about what others will think of them, how they look, what they post, how they're perceived. They build their choices around opinions, not purpose. They measure their worth by reactions, not results. Every scroll, every post, every thought becomes a quiet plea for approval. But the truth is, the people they're trying so hard to impress are usually fighting their own insecurities, too busy judging others to fix themselves. And in chasing their validation, you slowly lose your direction. You stop asking, what do I want to become? And start asking, what will they think if I do this? That's how dreams die quietly, not because you weren't capable, but because you traded your focus for attention. You see, validation gives you a moment of satisfaction, but vision gives you a lifetime of meaning. Validation feels good for a second. Vision feels right forever. The likes, the claps, the compliments, they fade the next day. But the fire of a real vision, that's the thing that keeps you alive when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when everyone's doubting. The world might not understand your path, but that's because your vision wasn't meant to be seen. It was meant to be built. The moment you stop living to please others, something powerful happens. You begin to see clearly. You start to move with purpose instead of panic. You stop chasing trends and start chasing truth. That's when growth begins, when you stop performing and start becoming. You realize that real success isn't about being noticed. It's about being consistent. It's not about proving people wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Validation is like sugar. It gives you a quick high but leaves you empty. Vision, though, is like fuel. It burns slow, steady, and strong. Every great achiever had a moment when no one believed in them, but they believed anyway. They chose purpose over approval, direction over distraction, vision over validation. Because when you build from your heart, not from their opinions, you don't just create success. You create something that lasts long after the applause fades. You don't need people to understand your dream, because it wasn't theirs to begin with. It was placed in your heart for a reason only you can see, feel, and bring to life. The truth is, the world doesn't recognize vision in its early stages. It doesn't see the picture before it's painted, the success before it's built, or the greatness before it's proven. People will doubt what they can't comprehend. They'll laugh at what they don't have the courage to chase, and they'll call you crazy until the day they start calling you a genius. Every dreamer faces that lonely phase, the silence, the rejection, the whispers that say, you can't. But that silence is where strength is built. That doubt is where belief is tested. Because if everyone could see your vision, it wouldn't be special, it wouldn't be yours. The greatest builders, creators, and innovators didn't wait for permission to start. They started when no one believed in them. They built quietly, they sacrificed silently, and they grew relentlessly until the world had no choice but to notice. You see, every visionary looks crazy before they make sense. Every dream looks impossible until it's done. People won't clap for you in the beginning because they can't see what you see. And that's okay. You're not doing it for their applause. You're doing it for your purpose. The dream wasn't designed to be understood by the crowd. It was designed to challenge you, to stretch you, to awaken something inside you that no one else can touch. So when they laugh, let them. When they doubt, smile. When they question your path, keep walking. Because one day, the same people who couldn't understand your dream will call it inspiring. One day, they'll look at your success and say, I always knew you'd make it. But you'll know the truth, that it wasn't their belief that built you. It was your own. It was the fire inside you, the vision that refused to die, the belief that whispered, keep going even when no one else did. That's the power of staying true to your dream. It turns disbelief into destiny. Real power doesn't come from applause or attention. It begins the moment you stop performing for the crowd and start creating for your calling. When you shift your focus from impressing others to fulfilling your purpose, everything changes. You stop chasing validation and you start chasing mastery. You stop needing to be seen and you start needing to grow. Because the truth is, the world will never fully understand your grind until they see your results. And by that time, you'll be too focused to care. Validation is a trap that keeps dreamers stuck. It makes you build for the wrong reasons. To be liked, to be noticed, to fit in. But vision pulls you forward even when no one is watching. It keeps you going when it's quiet, when it's dark, when no one believes. Vision is what turns ordinary effort into extraordinary progress. It's what separates those who quit from those who rise. When you have vision, you no longer need someone to clap for you, because the mission itself becomes your motivation. The truth is, those who perform for the crowd eventually burn out because crowds are never consistent. One day they cheer, the next they disappear. But those who create for their calling, they build legacies, they work in silence, move with intention, and grow without needing recognition. They understand that greatness isn't built in public. It's built in the unseen hours, in the discipline no one notices, in the sacrifices that don't make it to social media. So ask yourself, are you building to be seen or building to be remembered? Because being seen is easy. Post, talk, perform. But being remembered, that takes vision, patience, and quiet execution. The world doesn't remember those who shouted the loudest. It remembers those who built something real. So stay focused. Let the crowd chase trends while you chase purpose. Let them talk while you work, because when your time comes, your results will make the noise for you. That's where real power lies, not in validation, but in vision. And when you build from that place, you don't just make progress, you make history. So here's the truth. You don't need applause, you don't need approval, and you don't need anyone to say, you're doing great. What you need is vision. Clear, unshakable personal vision. Because when you have vision, even silence speaks. You move differently, you grind differently. You wake up with purpose while others wake up with doubt. Stop waiting for people to believe in you. Stop waiting for them to understand what you're building. They won't. They can't. It's your dream, not theirs. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Every great builder, every legend, every visionary, they were all misunderstood at first, but they didn't stop to explain. They kept going. They kept creating. They kept building. You see, validation might feel good, but it doesn't last. It's a hit, a quick high that fades as fast as it comes. But vision feeds you. It drives you when the lights are off and no one is watching. It whispers, keep going, when your world feels silent. It reminds you that what you're doing matters, even when it doesn't look like it yet. So don't build your life around approval, build it around purpose. Don't measure your worth by who claps, measure it by how far you've come. The people who laugh now will one day call you lucky. The ones who doubted your silence will one day study your strategy. And when that day comes, you won't need to say a word. Your results will do the talking. You don't need validation to rise. You just need vision strong enough to carry you through the noise. Keep your head down, your faith high, and your focus locked. Move quietly. Work relentlessly. And remember this, the loudest energy in the room doesn't win, the most consistent one does. The world doesn't reward noise, it rewards results. So choose vision, choose patience. Choose the grind that no one sees but everyone feels in the end. Because when your time comes, and it will, you won't have to chase validation. The world will turn its head, and it'll be your vision that finally demands the applause you once thought you needed.